Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is what people are seeing and experiencing in everyday life when it comes to being of the prepared mind. And I get sent pictures, videos, and emails. And if you would like to send me something for a video, my email's in the description box below. So this first email comes in from a community member, and she said, earlier this year, I mentioned that Blue Star Gas, our propane company, put a monitor on our tank. We had no idea until I noticed it one day. Yes, I remember that because you sent me pictures on it. And she said, the only perk of this is they will send you a weekly update of your propane usage so you know what your level is. My weekly email on December 23rd said it was 89%. And I had been told they will not have it any fuller than 80% because it expands during the summer, etc. Should not read that high. We just had a delivery on December 21st. I went outside and I looked at the gauge and it said we had 79%, which is where it should be. I called Blue Star Gas and explained the differences in the readings from the monitor and the actual gauge on the tank. I was told they won't match. I told her that does not make any sense to me. So which reading are they going to use when it comes to delivery? If I were to call and say we have 30% now and the monitor is saying we have 39%, which one are you going to go by? She told me what we tell them. What? I asked her what the point was to have the monitor then if they're going to go by what the gauge says. If we call and tell them the percentage that is left, she just repeated what she's just said, they will not match. Then what's the point? She said, I just let it go and said, okay, then we are on a will call. So they will not deliver unless we tell them to. That is because the price for delivery changes. So I'm thinking they will go by the monitor reading for those who have automatic propane delivery who never pay attention to what the gauge is saying. And this in turn will cause people to have less propane than they think and have higher propane bills. According to our gauge, we have less propane in the tank right now than what the monitor is saying. If you have one of those monitors, don't just rely on what the monitor is saying. Go look at the gauge and start a call delivery. Something is not right with the explanation of and what the reality actually is. Yeah, no kidding. Why is there a 9% difference in what the monitor is saying and what the gauge is saying? They should be exact. They should be matching exactly. What's the 9% difference? What is that? I would call them and say, why is there a 9% difference? They should be exact, because that could be a failure on somebody's end. There could be a failure on that gauge. There could be a failure on that monitor. There's an explanation somewhere, and they're just not willing to look for it. That's my take on it. So here's an email from a community member, and she said, hey, how ironic I'm sharing info about 2 smart houses, movies, and T-Mobile things pop up. Really? She said it won't matter to switch providers. Yeah, I know. I know. My son and I were talking about this the other night, and because my son and my daughter-in-law, they were kind of like flipping about it, you know, and because they are like locked in with T-Mobile because they have something about their iPhones and their watches. Because they have smartwatches, because my daughter-in-law had to get a smartwatch because her doctor had said to get a smartwatch because of her heart, because she has this heart condition where her heart beats very, very slow. And because she's pregnant, they want her to have a constant like heart monitor type thing. And they said that that iPhone watch or whatever is the best thing to get or something like that. So she got one through T-Mobile. So they're locked in. And yeah, it's something strange. I can't remember the exact conversation. But anyway, she said, one company starts, the rest follow suit. Yeah, I know. She said, thanks for the warning. I found a link online about that. Send it to my parents, telling them I'm no longer going to text. It sucks. It's a big thing we use to communicate and share things. They're really pissed after reading that. Dad said they're taking our freedoms away, because they are. They are. Even my son said, I mean, this is like our First Amendment. This is our freedoms. They're literally digging into our privacy. I mean, why do you have to know what I'm saying all the time? This, the private conversation that I have between me and my husband, or what my daughter-in-law is saying to my son, that's none of your business. My grandchildren have cell phones. So what are you going to do? Look at what an 8-year-old and a 9-year-old is saying now? You're creepy. Stay out of what they're saying. You have no business looking at what an 8-year-old is doing or what a 9-year-old is doing, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Because like my 9-year-old grandson, Giovanni, he sends me links to YouTube videos all the time. You know what I mean? And Mia, she'll send me, like a text message saying good night, I love you, that type of thing. And she's just in the other room. So it's kind of like, what the heck? Why do you have to look? It's none of your business. So she said, we are going to have to watch it for 2024. This is not a good sign. Wouldn't surprise me one day we don't have a president and become full-blown dictatorship. I've already been feeling this for over 2 decades. It's sickening. If they do this to text and emails, I wouldn't question hard. I'm going to stop emailing. Not fair. Using email for important issues only. Damn it. Going to watch out about this dictatorship. Thank you. Well, emails, I don't know. I really wouldn't worry too much about this, because there's so much of an uproar because of what T-Mobile's doing. Watch if there isn't a mass exodus from T-Mobile. Okay. And then T-Mobile's they're going to backtrack. And there's also probably going to be a very huge lawsuit. Okay. And T-Mobile's going to say, oh, shite, what did we do? Okay. And yeah, I can almost guarantee you that it's not going to follow through. If it does, I'll be extremely surprised. Okay. But with the emails, there's nothing really that we can do with the emails, only because, Google, you know what I mean? They control the friggin' atmosphere, But anyway. Okay, so here's a link that was sent in by a community member. Mind Control Wars with Bioweapons Whistleblower, Dr. William R. Deagle, MD. That will be in the description box below. So here's a picture that I'm going to put up for you that was sent in by a community member, and it says, shocking discovery, viral levels in the water supply skyrockets. CDC got exactly what they wanted for on Christmas. Oh, phantasmic. And here's a link for the description box. It's a history of medicine and an update. Thank you. And another link about Newsom pissing off the Dems with pro-Trump comments. Say what? Do what you need to do with this. God bless. Well, thanks. And another really awesome link. She said, you won't believe what the world leaders have in store for us next. Oh, well. I can only imagine. And another link about magic fertilizer for all veggies, 100% success rate. Awesome sauce. Thank you. And who is ready to get inspired? Just asking. So this community member, she sent in some pictures. She said, my eldest son blessed me with a huge cabinet that my husband cleaned, restrained, and reinforced for me. So again, I'm organizing the organization. It's a nonstop choice, but definitely worth to help rotate the foods. Have a great day and always pray for Israel. As always, my love. You know, Nance, I'm going to have to send you some pictures of what I did. And you are going to be like, oh, good God, girl, what did you do? It's for my pantry because I ran out of room. I did. And I was literally, when I tell you, my shelving units are actually going like this in the middle. So I took the backing of some old frames that I had bought at Michael's like years ago, and I cut the backing because the backing of the old frames, they're really thick, and so I cut them in half, and I put them on the shelf to try and stabilize the shelf even more, and it's still going like this because of all the mason jars. My husband's going, "That's going to collapse. That's going to collapse." And I'm like, "Shut up, Sean." So I need help. So here's something that was sent in by a community member, and it's about Providence with Blue Cross Blue Shield for January 2024. Also Medicare. Regents has served Oregonians for more than 80 years, providing access to high quality, affordable health care. We greatly value the high quality care Providence doctors, nurses provide our members, including many of our own employees. The leaders of Providence originally notified Regents that they intended to end their contract unless we paid an enormous double-digit price increase at the cost of more than $144 million for just 1 year in Oregon. What? While we have made our progress in our negotiations, increases like this cause direct financial strain for our employer group customers and the members we serve at the time when many Americans and their employers are struggling financially. Providence leaders say they will leave our commercial plan network on January 15, 2024, and our Medicare Advantage network on February 15, 2024, unless we agree to their demands for more money. Jeez, talk about greed. If Providence leaves the Regents network, Regents members may continue to see Providence providers at in-network rates through the above-noted dates, and members with ongoing care needs may be able to continue to see Providence providers at in-network rates for a limited time after they leave the network, and members are urged to call customer service for more information. We have been working with the leaders of Providence Health to renew our contract so our members can continue to access Providence Oregon hospitals and clinicians at in-network rates. We hope Providence will work with us to reach an agreement for fair market competitive rates. We recognize how disruptive news about these negotiations can be to our members. Our top priority is to reach an agreement that helps ensure our customers and members can afford health care at Providence facilities. As we continue to negotiate, here are a few things we need to know. Oregon legislators have set a healthcare cost growth target at 3.4% to reduce healthcare costs. Providence double-digit price demands contracts with these efforts. Providence is one of the largest health systems in the country, with more than 51 hospitals and clinics across 7 states. Providence Health original requested increase in what we pay them for health care would significantly raise the total care of costs. The combined amount regents, and the member would pay, and the result of higher premiums and out-of-pocket costs for members and customers at the time of increasing inflation. For example, having a baby by C-section at Providence in Portland would have cost about $5,500 more than it does today. Outpatient knee replacement at Providence facility would have gone up about $9,000. One of Oregon's large employer groups would have faced about $3.8 million increase in healthcare costs in 1 year alone. Healthcare costs paid to Providence in Oregon would have gone up more than $144 million in 1 year. Jesus. Providence is an important provider, and we have offered reasonable market competitive rate increases that will ensure Providence hospitals, physicians, and nurses continue to be fairly compensated for the care they provide to our members. We take seriously the impact that rates increase have on our customers, members, and overall health costs. At this time, Providence demands do not align with our efforts to help contain costs for our customers and our members. We continue to offer a broad network of physicians and hospitals across Oregon to ensure the families we serve have uninterrupted access to care if we are unable to reach an agreement with Providence. What the hell? This is unbelievable. Why so much money? That's greed. That's all that is just greed. And that's what Blue Cross, you said? Blue Cross and Medicare. I have Blue Cross Blue Shield, but I have a federal employee program because Sean works for the government. That's greed. That's all that is. That's greed. And that's why, like, a lot of doctors, like here in the Tampa Bay area, if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, they won't take you. They will only take you as a new patient if you have Medicaid, Medicare, or TRICARE. Yeah. It's so hard to find a doctor that takes Blue Cross around here anymore, and it's because they don't get a payout as fast as if you have Medicaid, Medicare, or TRICARE. Yep. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Because crap like this, it's greed. Okay, so here's a link to Patriot Nurse, a video. It's about people losing their minds, why crazy matters to you. Everybody's losing their minds. So here's an email from a community member, and she said, you're on your video topic of today of no means no. She said, I need to back up and restart and think about how the trees create the oxygen by taking in all this other crap that we have spewed out, and plant more trees instead of telling us what we can and cannot eat. Thank you. God bless. Well, you're welcome, honey. You know, trees are honestly one of my most favorite things to plant. I have planted so many trees on my property, I lost count. And I would rather plant trees, and I'm talking fruit trees, even bushes, you know, like I have, you know, like grapevines, I have blueberry, raspberry, blackberry, you know, like I have all that kind of stuff on my property that I planted myself. And they, you know, just keep reproducing every single year. You don't have to do a damn thing to them. I have orange tree, lime tree, key lime tree, lemon tree, kumquat tree, soursop tree. You know, I have all these different kinds of fruit trees and stuff like that on my property that I did myself. And, you know, honestly, I would rather do that than, because I can't keep up with a garden. I can't because of my disabilities. But, you know, having the trees, it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I absolutely adore it. I absolutely adore it. Drought-resistant succulents. I love my drought-resistant succulents. I absolutely adore them. Yeah, I love them. Okay, so here's another link for the description box. The only law enforcers of our Constitution is the militia. Oh, dear God. And another link about watching the water. And here's an email from a community member, and she said, hey, so I reached out to Patriot Mobile. This is another cell phone company, okay? that a community member has. Okay. And she said, and I asked, if a major mobile carrier decides to change its terms of service to permit monitoring of SMS text looking for opinions they do not agree with, and they levy fines thereupon, sort of how like PayPal did, how would you respond? I'm thinking about changing carriers in the name of free speech. And this was their response. Good evening. Thank you for your inquiry. If you are referring to the new updated terms and conditions for T-Mobile, Patriot Mobile provides service through its own systems and networks, and thus would not be affected by T-Mobile's new term of service. We here at Patriot Mobile stand for freedom of speech. So these new terms have been implemented by T-Mobile do not coincide with our beliefs. I can assure you that even though we use the same towers, we would never instill such terms for any member of Patriot Mobile that is using our Patriot network. I hope this information is helpful. May you have a blessed day, and may God bless America. Thank you for reaching out to Patriot Mobile and joining us in the fight to preserve our Constitution and protect conservative values. Have a blessed day. So now, everyone, switch over to Patriot Mobile, because I wish I could. All right, guys, that's all for this video. I will see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less. Ciao.